AITA for refusing to lend my brother $3,000 when I know he will never pay me back? I want to start by saying something that most people in my family refuse to acknowledge. Saying no to someone you love is not the same as abandoning them. Protecting your own financial stability is not selfishness. And refusing to throw money into a hole that has already swallowed thousands of your hard-earned dollars is not cruelty. My family does not see it that way. And right now, because of one decision I made 3 weeks ago, I am the villain of our entire family story. My name is Marcus. I am 38 years old. I work in logistics management. I have spent 15 years building a stable life, paying off my student loans, buying a small house, building an emergency fund, contributing to my retirement account every single month without exception. I did not come from money. Everything I have, I earned through discipline and sacrifice. My brother Kevin is 34. Kevin is charming, funny, and one of the most naturally talented people I have ever known. He is also financially irresponsible in a way that has caused our entire family years of stress and conflict. Kevin has never held a job for more than 18 months. He has been evicted twice. He has borrowed money from our mother, our aunt, 2 cousins, and at least 3 former friends, none of whom have ever been fully repaid. I say this not to humiliate Kevin. I say it because context matters. This is not a story about a responsible man who hit a rough patch and needed temporary help. This is a pattern that has repeated itself for over a decade. Kevin called me on a Sunday evening 6 weeks ago. I could tell immediately from his tone that something was wrong. He skipped the small talk, which is unusual for Kevin, who normally talks for 20 minutes before getting to any point, and told me directly that he was in trouble. He was 3 months behind on rent. His landlord had given him a final notice. If he did not pay $2,800 by the end of the month, he would be evicted. He needed $3,000, the extra $200 for groceries and utilities. I asked him what had happened. He explained that he had lost his job at a warehouse 4 months ago. He had not told anyone in the family. He had been trying to figure it out on his own, applying for jobs, picking up small gigs, but nothing had come through fast enough. He was ashamed. He had burned through his savings, what little he had, and now he was out of options. I felt for him. I genuinely did. Hearing your little brother scared and ashamed is not easy. I sat with that feeling for a long time before I said anything. Then I asked him a question that I already knew the answer to. I asked him about the $1,400 I had lent him 2 years ago. Silence. I reminded him. 2 years ago, Kevin had called me with a different emergency, a medical bill he could not cover. I had lent him $1,400. He had promised to pay it back within 6 months. 2 years later, not a single dollar had come back to me. When I had brought it up 6 months after the loan, Kevin had said he was working on it. When I had brought it up a year later, he had said things were tight. After that, I stopped asking because I had accepted that the money was gone. Kevin said he knew. He said he was sorry. He said he would pay back everything, the old $1,400 and the new $3,000, as soon as he got back on his feet. He had a job interview lined up for the following week. He was confident he would get it. He just needed to get through this one crisis. I took a breath, and then I said no. I told Kevin that I cared about him deeply, that watching him struggle was painful, that I wished I could make this easier. But I could not lend him $3,000 when he had never repaid the $1,400 from 2 years ago. That doing so would not be generosity. It would be enabling a pattern that was hurting him as much as it was hurting everyone around him. Kevin was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Okay," and hung up. I thought that might be the end of it. I was wrong. The next morning, my mother called me. She was not calm. She told me that Kevin had called her the night before in tears. She said I had turned my back on my own brother when he needed me most. She said that family takes care of family and that money should never come between brothers. She asked me how I could sleep at night knowing Kevin might be out on the street. I tried to explain my reasoning. She talked over me. By the end of the call, she was crying and I was sitting in silence. Then my aunt called. Then my cousin Deja texted me a long message about how our grandfather, who passed away 3 years ago, would be disappointed in me. Then Kevin's best friend, a man named Troy, who I have met exactly 4 times in my life, sent me a Facebook message calling me cold-hearted. Within 48 hours, I had become the villain of a story that, as far as I could tell, was entirely of Kevin's making. Here is what nobody in my family wanted to discuss. My mother had already lent Kevin $800 2 months earlier, money she has not seen back. My aunt had lent him $500 last year. My cousin had co-signed an apartment lease for Kevin 3 years ago and ended up paying 2 months of his rent when Kevin disappeared for 6 weeks. Every single person who was calling me heartless had already been burned by Kevin's pattern. Every single one of them was apparently willing to be burned again. I asked my mother directly, if I gave Kevin $3,000 and he did not pay it back, what then? She said we would cross that bridge when we came to it. I told her that bridge had already been crossed multiple times by multiple members of this family and that none of us had made it to the other side with our money intact. She told me I was being cold. Maybe she is right. Maybe there is a version of love that gives without conditions, that helps without expectation, that absorbs loss after loss in the name of family. I am not sure I have that kind of love in me. Or maybe I do, and what I am doing is actually the more loving thing, refusing to participate in a cycle that keeps Kevin from ever facing real consequences. Kevin did not get the job he had interviewed for. I found out through my mother. He is staying with a friend temporarily. He is applying for other positions. He has not called me since that Sunday night. My mother still brings it up every few days. My aunt has stopped responding to my messages. The family group chat, which used to include me, has gone quiet on my end. I suspect I have been removed, though no one has told me directly. I sit with this every day. I ask myself if I was wrong. I ask myself if $3,000 is worth a brother. I ask myself if the principle I was defending is worth the family fracture it has caused. And then I remember the $1,400 that is still gone, and the pattern that has never changed, and the fact that everyone who called me heartless had already been through this exact situation themselves. Was I wrong to say no? Was protecting my own financial stability and refusing to enable a pattern that has hurt everyone around Kevin worth the cost of becoming the family villain? You decide. Leave your verdict in the comments right now. NTA, not the a-hole, or YTA, you're the a-hole. And if you want more stories like this one every week, subscribe to The Verdict, because every story deserves a verdict.